Hello friends, welcome to yet another session on essay perspectives. So since prelims is fast approaching friends, we have decided to keep lighter topics for essay perspectives, and the topic for today is conservation is a state of harmony between human and land. Before we begin friends, there are two reasons why this topic has been chosen. Number one is most of the aspirants have started asking if the topics that are being discussed in this essay perspectives would be, the probability of the same topic or likely topic being asked in the examination. Friends, the answer for that is it is highly impossible for anyone to predict what topic would UPSC ask. But however, our endeavor is to ensure that aspirants are exposed to essays from diverse areas and diverse topics, so that so that they get the building blocks for writing essay on most of the topics. So in order to reinforce this fact, so we have chosen this topic. This topic friends is actually closely related to the topic that has already been discussed once in previous essay perspectives. So the earlier ones we had a discussion on the topic, we don't have to sacrifice a strong economy for healthy environment. Thus, this topic is closely related to the topic that was earlier asked. Our idea is, let us say we have discussed the earlier topic in the essay perspectives, and let us say you get this topic in the exam hall. Then you should be in a position to draw ideas that are already discussed in some other essay perspectives and try to mold those ideas in order to suit the requirement of the topic given. So in order to give the sense of how the discussions that are made in some videos be used in some other topic, so in order to give that sense, this topic has been chosen friends. As always friends, a personal request, my book A Practical Approach to Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude has been pirated, and unfortunately the pirated book is of low print quality, so I urge all of you to buy originals only. The original book can be bought from the seller affordable on Amazon. Friends, this topic also can be conceptualized as being made of various components. The first, we would introduce the topic and we would explain the meaning of the topic. Then we would explain as to how the harmony between man and land has turned into disharmony between man and land. Then we would discuss the manifestation of disharmony and the reasons for disharmony. Then we would discuss the dangers of disharmony, then the solutions for resolving disharmony, and then we will conclude. Friends, I feel the best way to start this essay is by taking reference to the earlier humans like Neanderthals or Homo erectus, or even the initial members of Homo sapiens. So they lived just like any other animal. They just searched for food, ate whatever was available naturally, or sometimes even the meat or flesh, and they did not travel much. They lived in open. So finally they consumed the nature and they released or excreted into the nature. So finally, thus their life did not disturb the harmony that is already created by the nature. Then you can just say about this in one para, and then in the second para you can draw a comparison to the modern man. How does a modern man live? Modern man wears clothes which are actually made by some synthetic material. A modern man drives cars. For driving the same, he needs fuel. That fuel is actually extracted from earth. Then he needs car. That car is also made of various minerals which are obtained by mining. So thus the human being, the modern day man, uses lot of unnatural or artificial or synthetic materials. thus going against the spirit of natural processes established by nature itself. Okay, so the best way to start is you can just explain the life of Neanderthal in first paragraph, then you can explain the life of modern man in the second paragraph, then you can say by comparing these two it becomes very clear that during earlier days man lived as per the rules set by the nature, but however the modern man has started to live in a way that is more comfortable to him, though it is against the rules set by nature. So thus there was harmony between man and land in previous times, but as time has evolved, the man has started to create disharmony in order to lead a more comfortable life. Perhaps by doing like this, by writing like this, you can introduce this essay. Then you have to necessarily explain the meaning of keywords given. So the first one is conservation. What is conservation, friends? Conservation is preservation in the present state. Let us say there is some culture which is being practiced in some forum today. The same has to be preserved for future. That is conservation. So let us say some heritage building which is in a particular fashion today, the same has to be preserved in future also. So preserving anything in the present state even in the future is conservation. So thus with regard to the environment, so conservation implies ensuring that the environment and the components of environment or natural components remain as it is without disturbing the same. Then harmony. Harmony in simplest of terms is peaceful coexistence. What is disharmony? Disharmony is disturbed coexistence. So then what is human? We know it's just mankind. All the species belonging to the family of Homo sapiens is mankind. So then what is land? Friends, it's important to define land here. Friends, we should not take the meaning of land as it is. Land actually means, land does not mean just the earth. Actually, earth, what does earth comprise? Earth means it is lithosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, atmosphere, everything. Thus, we should look at land not as only lithosphere. We have to look at it as being composed of whatever is inside the earth, whatever is on the earth, and whatever is over the earth. So in simplest of terms, here land means nature. So friends, now once the meaning of all the key concepts has been explained, now it becomes important for you to establish the link between all of them so that true spirit of the essay topic gets reflected. The best way to link all these things is to explain as to how the nature has designed the relationship between man and nature and how the same has been altered by human beings. Friends, first and foremost thing is that nature never treated man as anything separate from itself. So man is also a part of nature, just like any other animal. Correct? Thus, all the activities, all the biological activities that are inbuilt or ingrained into any human being are similar to the biological activities and processes that take place in any other organism. So, thus ingestion, digestion, excretion, everything is very natural, and if man lives like any other animal, there is absolute harmony. There is no problem at all. If man starts living like any other animal, then man will eat whatever is available, and man would not indulge in any activity that disturbs the balance of nature. So thus the first and foremost thing is that earlier the harmony between man and nature is inbuilt in nature itself. So man is a part of nature. Then there are natural ways of living, right? As I told you, natural food, natural materials. Just as birds build nests, let us say man also starts building his or her house using natural materials only. Thus, once those natural materials, say wood or whatever, even if they rot or even if they are eaten by termites, or also finally they get degraded and they become part of Mother Earth. They again become a part of nature. So whatever is used by the man is taken from nature and the same is given back to the nature. So this is how the natural processes are inbuilt, correct? But however, human starts modifying the nature courses for his or her benefit. There comes the problem. So instead of living in a wooden house or a thatched house, man wants to live in an RCC house or Pakka house. Why? Because he wants to protect himself from rain, wind, shelter, sunshine, whatever. So, in order to live a more comfortable life, man attempts to disturb or alter the harmony that is already built into the relationship between man and nature by nature itself. So, this is where the moment man started thinking of leading a life which is more comfortable to him, he was forced to tinker with the natural processes. Thereby, he started the journey from being harmonious with nature to being disharmonious with nature. Then friends, once we have explained as to how the journey from harmony to disharmony started, then we have to explain as to how this disharmony gets manifested. Friends, here I wish to draw your attention to the similar points that we discussed in a previous essay perspectives on we don't have to sacrifice a strong economy for a healthy environment. There, okay friends, I will just explain how it is similar later, but here the manifestation of disharmony happens in primary sector through usage of chemical fertilizers and chemical pesticides. So how the nature has created the agriculture or growth of vegetation, there are minerals, there are nitrogen fixing bacteria in the soil itself. The plants are being given the ability to absorb the minerals and then give the crop. So once the leaves wither or the whatever part of the plant gets separated, then it again falls onto the earth and it gets degraded and it again becomes a part of earth. So it's a perfect cycle. But however, we the great human beings first tinkered it with using chemical fertilizers, which is a synthetic one, which is not a natural one. So with the usage of chemical fertilizers, which is a natural, which is not a natural one, then the natural balance was first disrupted. Similarly, pesticides. In order to see, every organism on this earth has a purpose. So, without realizing the same, whatever pests that attack the plants or crops or whatever, we started using chemicals to kill those pests. This has two major adverse effects. Number one, the pest that would have served another unknown critical function in the bigger scheme of natural things or gets destroyed. Second thing is, whatever pesticide that is used, it had some unintended negative consequences also. So thus the natural processes or natural harmony first got disturbed or disrupted. Then comes in secondary sector. How are we doing? Factories and all. The first thing is pollution. So we started releasing all harmful, undesirable things into the environment, be it water or be it air, etc., etc., which was never conceived or never designed into the nature. Then, in order to produce more and more goods, in order to produce more and more sophisticated things, so we started mining fuels, we started extracting minerals, so everything was started happening at a pace that was never expected. Perhaps the nature never thought something in its lithosphere could be extracted and could be modified into something altogether different, but humans molded it in a way that is more beneficial to them, so leading to more and more problems. The moment the whatever fuels that were trapped inside the earth, perhaps they were trapped inside the earth because they were dangerous, so but we took it out and the humans started using it for various purposes, thereby disturbing the natural thing. Whatever harmful gases that were inside the earth, we took it out for some purpose and we are releasing it to the air and we are again inhaling and suffering from various diseases. So thus we disturb the natural processes. Correct? Oh, then even in tertiary sectors. Tertiary sector may see, since tertiary sector mostly comprises service sector where the usage of goods is very much limited, but even then the disharmony happens in peripheral and supportive items that are used, like just like the tissue papers that are being used in the hotels, or the lot of waste that is generated by hospitality industry, or unscientific treatment of biomedical waste by healthcare industry. So all these things actually were never intended by nature, but we started giving surprises to the nature, thereby creating disharmony and stress. Friends, now you may be surprised. So this is the same slide that I used for my essay or perspectives on we don't have to sacrifice a stronger economy for healthy environment. Same primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. So similarly, I have used the same primary, secondary, tertiary sector for explaining you how the disharmony between man and land gets manifested. So it is just that whatever ideas that are thrown to you through this essay perspectives, you should be smart enough to use them in any topic that is given. That depends on your smartness. See, we are just giving you building blocks. Using those building blocks, it is up to you whether you construct a house or a palace or a hospital or a school or a labasna, it is left to you. So it is as simple as that. So that's why in order to drive home the point that whatever is given to you through essay perspectives is just a building block, and you should develop the smartness to use those building blocks to write the essay that is asked in the exam. See, same topic, different topic, same components, but explained in different way in different perspectives. Then friends, once you explained the manifestations or the ways in which the disharmony gets manifested, it becomes extremely important for you to explain the reasons for this disharmony. What are the major reasons? First is wealth generation, that is market economy. I needn't have to explain you much. So we want to generate wealth. How do we generate wealth? By producing the product and selling the same to someone else. Correct? So in the spree to make more money, in the spree to generate more and more wealth, we have started exploring more and more ways of living more comfortably. So in order to create more and more products, we start depleting, we start affecting the nature more and more adversely. So this market economy with the sole intention of wealth generation is the first, foremost and predominant reason for disturbing the harmony between man and land. And the second one is infrastructure development. We need infrastructure, correct? So infrastructure development so in order to generate the wealth, in order to drive the market economy, we need infrastructure, we need buildings, we need roads. In order to reach some places, we have destroyed the forest and laid the roads in the name of infrastructure. And in order to live a more comfortable life through electricity, we have started building the hydroelectric power stations in thick forest areas, thereby destroying natural vegetation and also disturbing so many species dependent on that vegetation. We really don't know how many species have gone extinct by unmindful construction of some big infrastructure projects in forest areas or some ecologically sensitive areas. So this is how we are disturbing. The infrastructure development is one major reason for human being to create disharmony. Then comes human development. So friends, what is human development? We all know human development index has 3 components, right? So life expectancy, and let us keep it simple, let's not get into those details. It actually deals with 3 aspects: health, education, economic, standard of living. Correct? For health, what is the objective? More and more people should live longer life. So in order to make a person live longer, in order to make a person live in a more and more intellectual way, so many consequences have started taking place. So for example, in order to live longer, humans have started extracting so many natural things from the nature, and they have started manufacturing so many chemicals synthetically. Those chemicals, once released into the environment, may create or disrupt so lot of balances. We really don't know. Correct? That is how the pharmaceutical industry works. Creation of more and more chemicals, creation of more and more drugs. So thus in our and also we are all aware that how disastrous can biomedical waste can be. So the biomedical waste like blood samples, etc., which are disposed unscientifically, may create lot of disturbance to the environment. Then friends, I want you to just food for thought. Does animals need all this, or does animal need all this, or does animal do all this? No, right? They don't generate wealth. Their only objective is to find food for the time being, have food and keep quiet. Correct? All animals don't do this except man. That is why all animals other than man live in perfect harmony with nature, but human or man disturbs that harmony. Again friends, I have put one more slide. This slide is actually we used in the topic we don't have to sacrifice a strong economy for a healthy environment. Same points, except that the last one to find climate resilient solutions, of course that is not related to this. In all other 3 points, same thing. We use there, you can be smart and directly pick the same thing and use it here. Then what are the dangers associated with disharmony? Why are we so much concerned about the disharmony? So the first one is natural disasters. Correct friends? So earlier our forefathers, most of them never knew about droughts. Correct? The rainfall pattern has got disturbed. There are more droughts. The areas which never experienced a drought have started experiencing droughts. The areas which never experienced a flood have started experiencing the floods. Thus the natural balance is getting disturbed. So why is this? This is only because of disharmony. Another example for natural disasters is more deforestation leading to landslides. Then in our spree to live longer, we are living longer but with a weaker body. We are not living healthy, right? So there are the nutrition component that we are taking, or the air that we are consuming, the water that we are drinking is never pure, leading to lot of underlying health complications. Thus, even though humans have learnt or mastered the art of living longer, they have failed to live a healthy life. So many new diseases, so many things have started coming up. The best example is, of course, conspiracy theories aside, what do you think? Assuming that so many countries are involved in lot of cloning of animals and all. So many viruses and bacteria are getting released into the environment unknowingly. Correct? Why is this all happening? Because we are trying to disturb the nature. We are trying to take control over nature, which is not possible. Then also, psychological stress. Does any other animal experience stress? No, it is only human being who experience stress. Why? Because of our civilized life, we have set expectations for ourselves, and in order to meet or exceed those expectations, we have to forcefully, unmindfully exploit the nature. So thus leading to a lot of psychological stress. So the materialistic society, materialistic economy is the best example. So now the success of a person is measured in terms of the material comforts that he or she possesses. Thus, anybody who fails to secure these material possessions would definitely get disturbed and falls into stress. So, there's a lot of psychological stress is also getting created because of this disharmony between nature and humans. This may sound a little far-fetched, but still you can very well argue. Then friends, after writing about this, next thing that you should do is disharmony that bad? You have to answer this question. Is disharmony between man and nature bad? Friends, after discussing about the above points of dangers associated with disharmony, but yet the human beings, by virtue of having the highest intellectual capabilities, is forced to create the disharmony for himself. Is it that bad? The answer is no. Then why is the disharmony needed? The same thing, friends. So, because this disharmony has made man or given man the ability to fight unconducive or harmful natural forces created. Maybe some malignant organisms, malignant gases, malignant particles. It is human who has got the intellect to dissuade, to reduce the impact of malignant forces that are built into the environment. Let us take another example. Now friends, we have spoken about how man is destroying forests for infrastructure development, etc., etc. But friends, don't you know that nature itself has some mechanisms that would destroy the forest, like forest fire? Correct? You need not have to lit. Somehow, because of the heat, sun, etc., so many times forest fire starts and it destroys the entire forest in no time. But human being, realizing the importance of forest, has now come up with a lot of solutions to reduce the forest fire, right? Now human beings the forest departments across the world have started formulating so many solutions to reduce the forest fire. To whatever extent they may be successful, that is not a point of argument in this essay. But however, man has tried and become successful to some extent, definitely. Similar is the case with natural calamities like tsunami, etc., etc. Friends, earlier what used to happen? When there was flood, when there was earthquake, when there was tsunami, there were no early warning signals. Then man was forced to fend for himself. And now, thanks to the technology, man is not saving himself, man is saving other creatures also. Whenever there is a flood alert, whenever there is a tsunami alert, humans are shifted to safe places. It is not just humans that are shifted. Even the cattle and other animals that are reared by humans, domesticated by humans, are also shifted. Correct? Then humans have developed so many disaster resilient things in order to neutralize the negative forces that are built into the nature itself. Thus, is disharmony that bad? Definitely no. So now it is important, friends. This is where your analytical thing comes into picture. Once you have explained the dangers associated with disharmony, then you will also have to forcefully argue why the disharmony also is important. Then only your essay becomes multi-dimensional. Otherwise, it is just unidimensional. You are just supporting whatever is given. Then friends, after explaining as to why disharmony is dangerous, then even though it is dangerous, why it is necessary, then you will have to give some smart solutions that will balance this disharmony, right? So such smart solutions are again in primary sector. Instead of going for chemical fertilizers, we can go for natural farming through ZBNF, SRI technique. Then secondary sector mein we have to shift to eco-friendly manufacturing and we have to treat effluents. And tertiary sector mein we have to scientifically manage solid waste and liquid waste, and even we should go to techniques like pooling, so that the environmental impact and footprint, carbon footprint gets reduced. Then policy interventions, we can have carbon tax, we can invest in clean energy, and we can have a metric to incorporate environmental damage in costing, so that the products that disturb the environment becomes more expensive and people stop buying it, so that those industries which are not eco-friendly would see a natural death. Friends, again, this is the point, this is the same slide that I used for the earlier essay. We don't have to sacrifice strong economy for a healthy environment. Same thing, verbatim. So you can very well use the same thing here too. Friends, then we can conclude stating that the relationship between human and land is defined in the nature itself. As far as possible, human being should not try to tinker with natural processes. See, attempt of the man should be to become a part of nature, not the one out of it. Correct? So the best examples that we have already given is exploring more and more natural ways of farming would complement natural resources and would strengthen the harmony that already exists, rather than weakening or debilitating the harmony between man and land. So for that, you can towards the end you can give the reference to sustainable development goals. The whole idea of sustainable development goals is the same. If the humans understand and devise policy interventions and smart solutions in order to achieve sustainable development goals, then definitely in that process human beings would have strengthened the harmony between man and land and would have reduced the disharmony between man and land. Friends, again, the conclusion for the previous essay perspectives on we don't have to sacrifice a strong economy for a healthy environment is same as the conclusion that I suggested for today's topic as well. Friends, before I close, I just want to make it very clear to all of you, the idea of today's essay perspectives is not to give some new insights into some scholastic inputs or knowledge inputs to the topic given. It is more to make you understand as to how the topics that have already been discussed would have given you some building blocks, some pointers, some insights. Those pointers, those insights should be treated as building blocks, and you should use the same thing to build and write an altogether new essay. It is just that purpose. So for that purpose, a different topic is chosen, and the different topic we have tried to link the same topic to the previous essay perspectives and explain to you as to how you can deal with two different essays using the same subject. Thank you, friends. Wish you all the best. Happy reading.